Welcome back to Astrology, Angels, and more. Today is January the 12th, 2022. And I have a treat for you tonight. I'm going to be doing the horoscope for 2022 for each astrological sign, and talking about a lot of other things that are coming up in 2022 and everything that's happening right now. But first, I wanted to wish you all a happy new year. Happy 2022. Happy birthday, Capricorn. Capricorn is the 9th sign of the zodiac, with the teacher, the planet Saturn, as its ruling planet. The colors black and royal blue are associated and very lucky for the sign of Capricorn. Garnet and onyx are lucky gems for Capricorn. Capricorns are loyal, faithful, practical, and carry themselves with much dignity. Their downfalls can be their possessive, jealous, a little bit jealous nature, and that they're workaholics of the zodiac. Every Capricorn that I know is a very, very, very hard worker. And Capricorns, you have to be careful about your backs, that you don't strain your lower backs, because that's a little bit of a weak spot for you. Now, the planet Uranus is the planetary ruler of Aquarius, and it's finally moving direct on January 18th, 6 days from now, bringing about sudden and tremendous change. Now, this will complete the final steps that were already put in place in 2019, 2020, and 2021. With the eclipse, after eclipse of the moon, creating a lot of shakeups. Not to be nervous about that, though, because these shakeups can be for the good. Uranus brings about very sudden change. With Uranus now moving direct, it brings about what begins the turnaround of the pandemic and clarification regarding the United States of America. Finally. Between January and April of this year, many truths will come out that can really blow your mind. Now, on January the 2nd, we experienced the Capricorn new moon, conjunct Venus and Pluto, also in Capricorn. Now, this was also a time of transformation. Transformation this year of 2022 is the key word. And it had already started right on the 2nd day of January of this year. This is a time of transformation, as I said, individually, for all of us individuals, but also on a larger scale of a new world order. Now, this is the time when persistence and resilience prevail. There's a lucky trine aspect with Jupiter, giving confidence to forge ahead, even if it's rough terrain. Don't be afraid to do so. There's an urge for all of us at this time to find healing because we're tired of the struggling that has worn us down. Everyone is so tired of what we have been going through. 2020, 2021, and now finally in 2022, we're going to find some healing. Not all healing, but some healing. The time is now to move beyond this and begin to experience proper healing. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, this is just my opinion, but this latest variant of the virus being so contagious, but yet, as they say, with milder symptoms, although I have heard a lot of people that it was a very difficult task to be able to get through the illness. But we're all hoping that this will create a herd immunity that we so desperately need. Plus, there's pills now that are going to be coming out on the market that are supposed to assist and can hopefully, finally, offer relief to those who feel it could help them. There's so many varying opinions out there right now. But due to the extreme stress we've all been enduring due to all the aspects regarding the pandemic, this would be a great time to incorporate alternative stress relief, such as meditation, smudging, which is burning such things as sage, burning incense, doing grounding work, or just simply lighting of candles for universal connection and peace. Uranus and Saturn are in a square aspect, reminding us that the old and the new must somehow manage together. When Uranus stations direct, though, on January 18th, the power struggle could suddenly alter. But by the end of the month, with the help of Juno, the right balance can be found in any situation that has been one-sided. Now, that goes globally or individually. Now, January 14th through February the 4th, Mercury will be retrograde. So just double check any contracts or appointments and just be always sure to choose your words carefully so that nothing can be misconstrued. January 12th, which is today, through the 18th, Mars at the final degree in Scorpio, which can make things feel a little bit out of control. That feeling can last, that unsettling feeling can last through the 18th. And this is also a time of possible weather events that can possibly cause disturbances. Now, January 17th, we will experience the brilliant Cancer full moon, emphasizing our intense emotions, which may be a wonderful, although in some aspects, very difficult. The difficulty will only be temporary. Because remember, the new moon, the full moon, the effects are not just the day of, but 3 days before and 3 days after that moon plus the day of. So it's like for a week. So it'll just be temporary, but very necessary for the outcome in the new chapter unfolding in your life. Due to the moon's opposition to Pluto, and Pluto is the big player this year and has been for the past few years especially. This is also a time of purging something that has become redundant in your life. This is a time to allow your feelings to guide you as a compass into the future right action for you as an individual. If unsure of the correct course of action, then doing nothing may be the wisest option. By doing nothing, you do make a decision, don't you? So now, as I do every year, I have the individual horoscopes for the year for each sign. But first, I'm going to be talking a bit about the eclipses and Mercury retrograde and things like that. And then we're going to get into each horoscope for each sign. Now, this forecast will be shown on your TV screen. So I suggest that maybe you take a moment to grab a pen and a pad to jot down any notes that you need to. But besides this show being shown on CTV, on Fios and Spectrum, besides that, all the shows of astrology, angels, and more, you can rewatch on YouTube. They're all loaded up on YouTube, including this one will be. So anything that you think that you missed, you can always go back and look at YouTube if it still isn't playing on CTV. So we're going to first start out with the 2022 astrological forecast. Brian, if you would be kind enough to put that up, thank you very much. Okay, so this is what you're going to be seeing on your screen for each segment that I'm going to be talking about in each sign. Thank you, Brian. Can we come back? All right, so I hope I gave you enough time to grab a pen or a pencil and a pad to write down any notes that you want to for 2022. Okay, so now the first thing that we're going to talk about, because everybody always wants to know this, so let's get it out of the way, is when is Mercury retrograde? So if you look on your screen, you'll see the dates of January 14th through February 3rd, and then again, it will be retrograde on May 10th to June 3rd. And again, September 9th to October 2nd, December 29th to January 18th of 2023. Now, every year, Mercury goes retrograde 3 or 4 times a year, and it's really not that big of a deal. Sometimes it's just minor inconveniences like missed appointments or, delays, or sometimes we have problems with electronics, things like that. Minor things. But it isn't anything that you should worry about or get upset about or rule your life by. I mean, if you have choices as to when to take that very special vacation, I would suggest it's always better not to be taking it during Mercury retrograde, only because you may run into a delay. That's all. That's all it is. But so now we're going to be moving, and this is very, very important, to the 2022 lunar and solar eclipses. Now, as you can see on your screen, the partial solar eclipse in Taurus on April 30th. This offers you extraordinary energy to fulfill a wish dear to your heart. Eclipses are actually times of destiny and fated events. They create transformation in our lives. So now the next eclipse, the total lunar eclipse, is on May 16th in Scorpio. That offers you an opportunity to take stock of your lives and where you are, what your place is in this universe. What for you to contribute. It's also a wonderful time to meditate, to be able to receive those answers. The next eclipse will occur October 25th, and that's a partial solar eclipse in Scorpio again. And this theme is really about conquering your life, being in control of your own life, and living to the highest level of fulfillment and pleasure. Then the next eclipse is the total lunar eclipse. That's on November the 8th in Taurus. And it points out any relationship dysfunction. I mean, let me tell you, this moon is going to be shining on any problems that are going on, any changes that need to be made in any relationships that you have. Can we go back to the studio? Thank you, Brian. As I said, any eclipse creates a tremendous amount of energy. They're not to be feared. They're a time of extra power to be able to change and create the life that you truly want, that you truly deserve to have. If you noticed, every time that I was talking about one of the eclipses, which are very powerful points in 2022, it was either Taurus or Scorpio. Now, the reason that is because of this particular year where the nodes of the moon are accenting Taurus and Scorpio. Those are the themes this year. The transformations that are going to be happening this year, and we're talking about worldwide, have to do with wealth, economics, banks, the stock market, real estate. You know, those are all themes of the sign of Taurus. Now, the secondary theme here this year is going to be having to do with the sign of Scorpio and what that energy brings. And what that energy brings is a lot of truth surfacing. Remember, I said before, you're going to be really surprised with some of the things that are going to come about this year. What I'm referring to is what's going to surface. And what's going to surface is truths regarding sex, yes, power, and scandals. Especially the first quarter of this year, leading into the second quarter of the year, especially around April and May. There's going to be some very strong truths that are going to rise out of some things that have been hidden. Regarding politics, etc. Because what we're going to be dealing with this year is actually the rebirth of the United States of America. Because it will be the Pluto return. The planet Pluto, and yes, I as an astrologer consider Pluto a planet, will be making its return to its original spot at the time of the birth of the United States of America 248 years ago. That's going to happen this year, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, let's go to the horoscopes, okay, Brian? Can we go to Aries? And let's get through that first. Okay. So, dear Aries, 2022 is the year to let go of what happened before. Just release those old beliefs and start with a clean slate to create anything that you want. This is a year, actually, for all of us. It's rebirth. That's what this is all about. Transformation, rebirth, and especially you here, Aries, okay? Because this is a year of balancing karma. May through October is a very lucky time filled with opportunities. Love and abundance beyond your wildest dreams will find you this year if you remain moving forward in a positive frame of mind. Positivity is the key for you this year, Aries. Start dedicating yourself to the things you're passionate about and surround yourself with the people who light your soul on fire. Stay away from those negative people, please, please. They dim your light, your fire. You're on the right path now this year, Aries. Don't forget, though, gratitude for all that is coming your way. Okay, dear Aries, now we're going to move to Taurus. Taurus, beautiful Taurus. Okay, with the moon's nodes of destiny, you take control of your own future and of your relationships. That's a big deal this year for you, Taurus, your relationships. This is your year of transformation with the solar eclipse season occupying your sign throughout the year. Throughout the year. With these tremendous changes, you are no longer in the background, but you're in the forefront. Expect the unexpected when it comes to love. Remember what I said, relationships, love, love, love. Truly believe in the power you hold and allow your confidence to flow because you will have several options available to you regarding love. So, what we're talking about here is don't settle for the first one who comes along. Get the right one because you're going to have a lot of opportunity. There's no room for self-doubt in any area of your life this year. This is your year, Taurus. Now let's move to Gemini. Gemini, 2022 is all about stability and balance in your life, dear Gemini. Now, remember, Gemini, though, this is important. Mercury, when it's retrograde, it affects you a little bit more, and also Virgo it affects a little bit more than other signs due to the fact that it's your ruling planet, Mercury. Okay, so things will be slowing down regarding obligations and responsibilities and affording you a simpler, much simpler lifestyle to enjoy. This will bring a peace and calmness to your life that has escaped you for the past 2 years. Start taking time for meditation and therapeutic techniques for yourself. This year is all about you. It's all about taking care of yourself, recharging yourself, re-energizing yourself. Gemini, please make yourself a top priority and be sure to invest your time and feelings with the right person regarding your love life. Please be very careful about this, Gemini, this year. Okay? So now, but you will have opportunities in love, but just make sure it's the right one. So now, Cancer. Oh, Cancer. This is the year you can connect with your soulmate, your partner for life. I got to tell you, I see a lot of engagements, marriages happening this year for the sign of Cancer. There will be many invitations and opportunities to connect. But here it's Cancer, okay? Stop overthinking things regarding love, and it will flow naturally to you this year. Your career can afford you many opportunities for advancement in 2022, dear Cancerians. Make sure you take proper care of your mental, emotional, and physical health by eating properly, exercising regularly, of course, and getting plenty of rest. But this is really key for you, Cancer, because this year there's a lot of emotion that's churning around for you, all around you. A lot of emotion, good emotion, some a little bit of tenseness. So you really need to take care of yourself and just relax. Please relax. Okay, now then we have Lucky Leo. Here we go, Lucky Leo. Love, joy, and success are yours for 2022. There will be some difficult moments, but nothing you can't handle as long as you stay in the game and don't disengage. The lesson is to find peace in the midst of chaos. Now, what happens with Leo is many times they become disenchanted if they feel in any way that they have been insulted or discarded or they really love being the center of attention, but it's very important because there's a lot of action that's going on around you this year, Leo. So you really need to just maintain the calmest attitude you can and surround yourself with people that are not of the drama. Too much drama. You've had too much drama in your life. Unfortunately, it just seems that drama sometimes finds you from people that have all kinds of problems or situations in their life, and they're always coming to you. But you may decide to surrender to the love of another Leo. Yeah, surprising, right? Who enters your life this year. And you will feel as though this is the perfect mate for you to rule the kingdom together, side by side, as perfect partners. Expect some surprises along the way and see the beauty in the unexpected. So, I gotta tell you, people always say, if we could come back to the studio for a moment, please. Thanks, Brian. People always say, you shouldn't date your own sign, your own astrological sign. They think that, or you shouldn't date your opposite sign and things like that. But it's more than your sun or your rising sign involved here. There's also the moon and Venus and Mars and all the planets, actually, and the karma you brought in this particular lifetime. So don't be surprised if you are attracted to someone who is the same sign as you, because that person who's the same sign as you likes the same things as you. And don't be discouraged about falling in love with someone of the opposite sign, such as a Cancerian falling in love with a Capricorn, whatever the opposite sign of the zodiac may be. And the reason that I say that is because you know how they say opposites attract? Well, the reason that that's a saying is because on the opposite side of your astrological chart from where your sun is on the ascendant is the 7th house of marriage and partnership. Opposites really do attract. So now let's go on to the next sign, Brian. Virgo. Beautiful Virgos. This is your year of transformational change in all areas of your life. Love, finances, career, friends. This should be your best year yet. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. You see the running theme that's going on here about transformation, right? But Virgo, yeah, this is a very lucky year for you. You're on the path of ascension, not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual plane. It's kind of like where everything's coming together for you this year, Virgo. All of this begins as early as January, when you reach a turning point, perhaps first with a family member. Yeah, because lots of times Virgos, if we could come back to the studio for a moment. Thank you, Brian. Lots of times Virgos, actually most of the time, they're the ones that are supporting everyone else. They're the ones that are, taking care of and making sure everybody else is fine and putting themselves last. Many times this can happen with a family member, dear Virgo. And this year, you're going to recognize that. Whoever that is in your life, because sometimes what ends up happening is, even when our loved ones or our friends, they love us and they care for us, but as a Virgo, what happens is they get used to you taking care of everything. And it can be very draining for Virgos. This is the year that you suddenly realize, it's like the light goes on, and you realize that you need to really put yourself first. That's not selfishness. You put yourself first, you take care of you first, and then you can take care of everybody else. That's truly how it works, Virgo. Okay, let's see what else we have for Virgo here. Yeah. So don't overanalyze. If we could put Virgo back up. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Don't overanalyze advantages that come your way. You can miss opportunities by sticking to the status quo. Move beyond your comfort zone and have fun in the process. Have fun. Have fun, dear Virgo. Now, Virgo, remember, also, Mercury is your ruler. That's your ruling planet. Okay? So when Mercury goes retrograde, it's a little bit difficult sometimes. But it's only temporary. You know, everything is temporary. Oh, beautiful Libra. You know, most Libras that I do readings for or have never ever met in my life or that I know, I have a very close friend that's a Libra. She actually has a stellium of Libra planets. But Libras are very good-looking people. Usually they're very good-looking people. They have an eye for beauty. So now Venus retrograde, which Venus is your ruler, Libra, through the end of January can create a change of heart or a reassessment of a living situation. Now, this is important. This is a year of releasing guilt, shame, and self-doubt. Just let it go. Let it go. Regarding your career, Libra, hard work and patience allows you to have your cake and eat it too. Now, lucky Jupiter, lucky Jupiter, transiting Pisces in early March, will release self-doubt so that you will be able to trust the process that is taking place. You're willing to take a leap of faith even if you don't have all the details worked out. Libras have a hard time making up their minds about things, you know. That's the truth. They have a hard time making decisions. So now as early as March, you could see your creative project that you've been working on so hard and long in full bloom. You have a natural gift of creativity. Express it fully. You know, I've known a lot of Libras that are very artistic, whether it be not just necessarily painting or drawing, but music. They have interior decorating. I mean, they just have an eye for beauty. Now let's move on. Scorpio. Okay, dear Scorpio, February can bring tension related to your home or your career. As of March, though, all karma has been balanced. That's a big deal, Scorpio. That wipes away all the pain and misfortune you have dealt with in the past. Very important. This is your year of balancing karma. You know, these eclipses are helping you do that. It's transformation. It's time to release yourself from anyone in the past that has depleted your time, money, and or energy. Previously, you have allowed this to happen to you, and this is the year where the tide turns. Your karma is balanced. Key point. Your karma is balanced. It's time to move on to bright new beginnings, letting go of the past with a strong possibility, the startup of your own successful business. I see a lot of Scorpios going in their own businesses this year. You know, a lot's going to happen for Scorpio this year. A lot of opportunity. Oh, I went to Sagittarius. Sorry. Okay. So let's get back to Scorpio. This will be a very busy year for you. Be sure to allow time for the things that you love and the people who support and appreciate you. The people and things that make your heart sing in joy. Okay, dear Scorpio. Sagittarius. Here we go, Sagittarius. Oh, lucky Sagittarius. I got to tell you, Sagittarius is the luckiest sign of the zodiac because its ruler is Jupiter. Dear Sagittarius, you have had a year and a half of illumination and activation from the aspects in the heavens of Gemini and Sagittarius. Your spirit has been calling out to you to release your childhood dreams and desires. So what did you want to be when you were a child, Sagittarius? What did you want to do? This is the time now to make that happen. You'll be working smarter and not harder, earning more without working as hard as before. Being able to take a few days off to take time to enjoy the things that bring you joy in life. Sagittarius, the Sagittarians that I know, they love to have fun. They're such fun. Such as literally stopping and smelling the roses and making communion with Mother Nature. Just taking a walk in the woods or on the beach, just making communion, that connection with Mother Nature. Now, your love life and all personal relationships take a larger focus for 2022 in a very beneficial way. So, needless to say, you'll be lucky in love. Lucky, lucky, lucky Sagittarius. Capricorn. 2022 is a time of releasing old feelings, such as grief or resentment, that have been holding you back from your full potential and attaining your dreams. Remember what I was saying before about Capricorn. They're such hard workers. You're viewing your life from an entirely different perspective that will set you free. Now, the reason this is happening is because of the role that Pluto is playing, because Pluto is in Capricorn, in the sign of Capricorn. Now, retrograde Venus transiting Capricorn also can bring delays in January, but then a beautiful conjunction between Mars and Venus in Capricorn in late February is the beginning of a new creative cycle related to your true passions. You'll see this bloom in the month of March. See what I see happening this year with Capricorn? You're going to be working very hard, especially in January and February. And then in March, by the end of March, things will really come full circle for you. New relationships will be very satisfying now. Now that you've opened your heart, finally, to love and no longer have it under lock and key. And that's what was happening, dear Capricorn. especially for the past 2 years. So now, this year, your heart will be open. Because now, Brian, could you please come back to the studio? Thank you so much. You know, Capricorn, I want to talk to you about that. The thing is that what ends up happening is with Capricorn, all work and no play, right? But Capricorns have been dealing, now this is Capricorn rising or Capricorn sun sign, have been dealing with a tremendous amount of change in their lives, especially the past few years. That is due to the fact of Pluto transiting over their sun. A lot of Capricorns have had loved ones transition, have moved to different locations, have started completely new careers, major transformations, especially for Capricorn, the past few years. And now what's happening is whatever had been put down and taken away, I'm going to use that terminology, from you before Capricorn, now is the time for the rebuilding. And I see that happening beautifully for Capricorn this year. Absolutely beautifully. Okay, so now let's go on to the next sign, which is Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Love Aquarius. 2022 is the year for you to focus your energies within, to evolve, to higher and higher and higher on your spiritual journey. That's what it's all about this year for you, Aquarius. There will be a strong possibility that you may share your journey through perhaps writing a book or doing speaking engagements. This will be very encouraging to others who are perhaps in the throes themselves of what you have now already come through. You've been evolving on your ascension path. And when that happens, as we evolve, the things that change sometimes in our lives, we don't want to let go of. So you've been doing a lot of internal work. Your soul connections will be expanding to much larger circles, Aquarius, which will create once-in-a-lifetime moments and memories. Isn't that beautiful? Now, April begins a process of rethinking your living situation. You might move. And then in May, you may move in with your love. I like that. Okay, we're at the final sign, Pisces. Pisces. Wow. You're on a journey of self-discovery, which will bring great joy and love. Lucky Jupiter. Now, this is big for Pisces, okay? Because Jupiter is only in your sign once every 12 or 13 years, and lucky Jupiter is in your sign for the most part of 2022, attracting good things your way, such as money, opportunity, love, beneficial relationships, and expansion in every area of your life. Last year was a very rough year for Pisces, but this year, so much better. Wow. Opportunities will finally open up. When Venus and Mars conjunct around Valentine's Day, love is very much on your mind, and you have freed yourself of any lingering hurt from past relationships. Sensitive Pisces, sensitive Pisces. Throughout this year, you will go within to get in touch with what really matters most to you. You surround yourself with people Finally, you surround yourself with people who appreciate your newfound wings. May through October, finances are highlighted. You may find many opportunities to remind you how far you've come. This is the year you discover true joy in unexpected moments. Now, that completes all the signs of the zodiac. And Brian, if we could come back to the studio. So now, what I was talking to you guys about before in reference to the eclipses, this is transformation this year. This is what's going on. And the trigger points are the eclipses and the dates that I had given you. And what I had mentioned in reference to the rebirth of the United States of America, Brian, if you would be kind enough, can you please put up that chart that I had given you of the United States of America? Okay. That's the astrological chart of the United States of America. And the transition date on that chart, of course, the birth date is July 4th, 1776. Now, on February 22nd, and that's the date that I made for the transit of this particular chart. That date is February 22nd, 2022. And you hear a lot of talk about how it's going to be 2-2-2-2-2 on a Tuesday. Okay? The tremendous amount of energy. Numbers are energy. On that same day, Pluto, if you look all the way down at the bottom left-hand part of the screen, in the second house, you'll see each house is numbered inside the circle. In the second house, you're going to see that Venus and Mars and Pluto are all conjunct and in a stellium of Capricorn. But the biggest highlight that's happening is the return of Pluto conjunct the natal Pluto. This is the first time that Pluto has been in this position since the birth of the United States of America. Can we come back to the studio, please? Thank you very much. This is very, 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 very important. Pluto is what has caused everything that has happened in our country and the world, actually, for the past several years. I've been watching this, and if you watch this show, and any of the other shows that I've ever done, such as God's Way Yatave and Spiritual Exploration, you'll see that I've talked about this particular aspect with Pluto over and over and over again. Well, here it is, okay? It's going to be conjunct. Now, what that is, it's a rebirth. Pluto knocks everything down. And then, like a wrecking ball, and then it comes back in and it rebuilds everything up. So what has happened is it already knocked everything down. After February 22nd, especially, it's rebuilding everything up. It's the rebirth. It's the rebirth. I have to tell you, I have a tremendous amount of hope. I truly, 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 truly do. You know, one of the things that you're going to see, though, in reference to the truths that I said that were going to be coming out, there's going to be a lot of truths that come out politically, possibly even with the media and things like that. Okay? But I feel a lot of hope, as I had said before. Especially when I'm looking at the position of Jupiter, and Jupiter is very lucky. I really feel that we're going to be able to get through this. Listen, this is affecting us individually, but it's also affecting our country and it's affecting us worldwide. I'm grateful that the Pluto return is finally happening. And understand something, you chose to be born now, okay? You did. Whether you realize that or can really recognize that, you chose to be born now, because this only happens, this kind of an aspect only happens once every 248 years. Let's face it, not everybody lives 248 years. Nobody does. Nobody does. Okay? So we chose to be here now. So each one of us has something to contribute. And what I suggest is this is a much better year than what we had previously dealt with for the past 2 years, especially. So what you do now is recognize that, create that, allow that to happen. Bring the goodness in your life. Be good to each other. Be loving to each other. Be loving to yourself. Be good to yourself. And what happens is that creates a domino effect that will turn this entire situation around. I wish you all love, many bright blessings. God bless you. Many blessings. You can see this show on YouTube, and everything I talked about will be on my website, hopehypnosis.com. Many, many bright blessings for 2022. God bless you. Thank you.